Today, we're going to explore a really powerful and, well, ancient metaphor for leadership and personal growth. It's an idea that really challenges us to move beyond just, giving orders or instructions, and instead to learn how to kindle that inner flame that exists inside another person. And our starting point is this beautiful line from the book of Proverbs. It frames the soul not as something to be controlled or shaped, but as a candle, a source of light, a seat of internal authority that's just designed to be lit and to burn brightly on its own. This really sets the stage for everything we're about to explore.
And right away, this leads us to the core question, doesn't it? If a soul is a candle, then our job as leaders or educators or even parents isn't just to provide a temporary spark. The real work is in helping that flame catch, helping it stabilize, and then watching it burn all by itself. So the question is, how do we actually do that? How do we do it effectively and with real dignity?
To answer that, first we need to understand the art of kindling itself. And it turns out the source material gives us a very precise instruction that's kind of hidden inside a single very powerful word.
That word is bihalocha. Now, it doesn't just mean to light, it literally means when you cause to ascend. The intention packed into this one word is just profound. The goal isn't to create dependence where someone always needs your light to see. No. The goal is to foster their own internal authority, to help their flame rise up on its own.
And this unfolds in a really patient three-step process. First, you bring your presence, your knowledge, your own flame to the other person. You hold it steady. Second, and this is absolutely the crucial part, you wait. You create what we call a space for becoming, patiently holding your presence there as their own flame starts to catch. And only then, third, do you gently, carefully withdraw. This isn't about abandonment. It's about making room for their own independent light to shine.
Okay, so let's see how this art of kindling fits into a larger framework. To really get what this independent flame is all about, we need to look at two different ways that light, or inspiration, can flow.
So on one hand, you've got what's called direct light, or yashar. Think of this as top-down instruction. It's external wisdom. It's advice. It's valuable, for sure, but it comes from the outside in. And on the other hand, you have returning light, or choser. Now, this is the opposite. This is bottom-up inspiration. It's the light that awakens from within a person through their own reflection and their own experience.
And this brings us to a really deep paradox. The sources say that this returning light, the inspiration that comes from inside of us, can actually ascend to a higher, deeper place than the direct light that comes from outside. The insight here is incredible. The wisdom that we generate from within, from our own internal authority, connects us to an even deeper essence than wisdom we're just given.
So, what does this internal process, this returning light, actually look like? How is it generated? How do we make it happen?
Well, the core dynamic is an act of turning. Think about it. Most of the time, we're facing outward, right? We're just reacting to the world around us. This model suggests a conscious shift, a turn inward to face our own source. This is the very heart of moving from reactivity to responsibility. It's in that moment of introspection that our own wisdom finally gets a chance to speak.
Okay, so now that we've got this understanding of inner light, let's go back to our central metaphor, the flame, and let's break it down even further.
The sources propose that the physical structure of a flame isn't random at all. In fact, it's a perfect map of our inner life, of the different layers of our presence and our commitment.
So here, you can see these three distinct layers. That dark, bluish part right at the base, called shashmal, is what connects to the wick, our physical reality, and it represents commitment with all your heart. Then you have the bright white fire, aish, which doesn't touch the wick. It represents the soul. And then that outer halo, naga, that signifies our total energy, or might. And together, they form this complete integrated picture of presence.
Now here is where this ancient model just reveals a layer of coherence that is, well, it's pretty mind-blowing. There's a key number that appears that ties all of this together, and that number is 737.
So in Hebrew, the word for flame, shalhevet, has a numerical value of 737. And what's just astonishing is that the phrase describing that total commitment, with all your heart and with all your soul and with all your might, also has the exact same numerical value. The map is embedded right there in the language itself. The flame is the expression of this complete aligned presence.
So how do we bring all of this incredible ancient wisdom into our lives today? Let's connect these ideas directly to the practice of presence-driven leadership.
It's really a one-to-one translation.
What we've been calling the independent flame is exactly what we practice when we nurture internal authority. That act of turning inward, that's the core practice of choosing responsibility over reactivity. That patient process of waiting for the flame to ascend is precisely how we create space for becoming. And finally, the entire act of kindling instead of forcing, well, that's a profound expression of upholding human dignity.
And so we end with this question, just for your own reflection. In your work, in your family, in your community, where is there an opportunity to shift your approach? Where can you kindle and not just command? Where can you hold the flame steady, create the space, and patiently wait for another's light to ascend, all on its own? Thank you for joining us.